give up. I just give up. And that to me was almost an energy of surrender. I was like, whatever, I'm done. I've done everything I can. I was like a kid counting down till Christmas. Out of nowhere, it was just like this pain that I can't even describe. This is not what I wanted. This is not how you're meant to get pregnant. You're just going to see a little shooting star. I've fallen more in love with him in the last 7 weeks than I even thought I could. Yeah, I turned it over and it instantly.
So we have just spent the last episode together talking about your journey to becoming a parent. You did tell me that you had some news. And for those who don't know, you did start IVF, even though you weren't 100% sold on IVF. You did a lot of work on your own mindset, leader of the mind school. And then you've ended up going through IVF and we're at your very first transfer. What happened here?
Oh, so by the time we came around to the first transfer, Paul and I, myself particularly, I was like a kid counting down till Christmas. I was like, I had done enough work by this point that I was just excited. I was like, you know what? I've made peace with the fact that this is potentially an IVF pregnancy. I've made peace with however my pregnancy might go. And I'd done so much belief work that I was like, I've had a hard enough journey. IVF's working for me. IVF's going to work first time, first round. That's what I told myself. And the IVF clinic the whole time had been like, Brianna, this is unicorn results. They grade your embryos based on quality. And they had rang me and the embryologist said to me, this is insane. We have all AAA grade, whatever. I didn't know what any of this means. It's
AAA.
like AAA, like big Energizer bunnies. Yeah. They were like, your embryos are all, like almost all of them were incredible quality. And so we did all the blood work. You do more blood work. You do the ultrasounds. You go in every few days and you're just getting ready. Like, when are you giving me the date? When are you giving me the transfer date? I literally could not wait. So it was a huge turnaround from like, oh, fuck IVF. I hate this clinic. I don't want to be here, to like, let's go. And I loved the team and I loved I felt like I was in the right place. So we got the first transfer date and we had this whole plan, like, because they told us this is the way they do it is they go highest quality first. And so we knew this is like one of the highest grade embryos. It's going to be incredible. We're going to go and buy our very first ever, because I've never bought any baby things. I don't think I've ever wanted to get that attached, I suppose. So Paul and I were like, right, we're going to go together. He's taking the day off. We're going to make a whole beautiful day out of it. We're going to get the transfer put in. We're going to go buy our first baby item, and then we're going to go out for lunch and have this like beautiful day together. And I was convinced this was the one. I hadn't told my family, which was actually the hardest part. I was trying so hard to keep it a secret because for years I've been fantasizing about how I'm going to tell my mum and dad. And so I wanted that element of surprise. And that was so hard. I talk to mum every day. She knows me so well. So I had to actually stop talking to her so much because I knew I'd give it away.
Because you're like, I can't lie.
I can't lie. Yeah. She'll know something's up.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, I don't want to talk to my mum and dad. I don't want to talk to my brother. I hadn't told anyone, but I did say to my friends, I need you. Especially, I'm not telling my mum. This is really hard. So I went, it was a secret. Mum was like, morning, sweetie, how are you going? And I was like, no, this is so hard not to tell you. And so we've gone. I was so excited. We walked in and they went, the embryologist walks out and went, you're not going to believe this. Your embryo is already hatching. And I remember that moment.
Before they'd inserted it?
Before that, yeah, like they're like, it's just expanding at rapid knots. Like they said, we've got to show
like
you.
A chicken.
That's exactly what I said. I was like a chicken. And it was Easter. Like we'd just had Easter weekend. And I'm like, oh, it's my little Easter egg. And they said, we're going to put it up on the screen so you can see this baby is like already hatching. It's gone into the next phase. And I was like, this baby is sticking. Like I know this is the one. And I was so excited. I didn't think anything of the embryo transfer itself. I didn't know it was, I just thought it was a 2-minute like turkey baster job and then we go and have lunch. That's what I thought. I was like, let's get it done. Let's go.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're in their pools, like watching on the screen. They're like, are you ready? We're going to start the transfer. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to meet my
you can
baby.
see
You can
it.
see it. You're watching it on a screen and they're getting ready and it starts taking a little bit too long. And I was like, I started feeling really uncomfortable. Like, you know, when you go for a pap smear and it's like that uncomfortable feeling where it's like, oh, you're on my cervix.
Yeah, you
like,
haven't
this
you
is
haven't got
not
it yet. Yeah.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
And it's going on for quite a while. And then I'm getting a bit like, ow. And then the doctor stopped and she just looked at me and she's like, I'm so sorry. Have you had any procedures or surgery before on your cervix? And my heart dropped and I was like, yeah, I've had quite a few actually. And she's like, your cervix is closed. We can't get through. And I was like, so is this still happening? Is it okay? She's like, we're just going to have to get some different utensils. We're going to have to get some different instruments. We'll find a way. This could, we'll try. And then like out of nowhere, I won't get too graphic because it's actually so bad, but out of nowhere, it was just like this pain that I can't even describe. Instant shock. I started to almost black out. Like I just had to be elsewhere mentally. The pain just shook me to my core and I was just crying. And they're like, it's okay, we're in. Like it's okay. But I was in shock. I was crying, I was shaking. They did the transfer and they sort of left me to get myself like dressed and all of that. There's blood everywhere. And I just fell into a heap. I just walked into the toilet and burst into tears. This was meant to be, it's just like all the grief hit me in that moment. I was like, this is not what I wanted. This is not how you're meant to get pregnant. This is not what I wanted. And so much medical trauma around that came
Your
up.
cervix.
My cervix.
Yeah.
I was like, my poor body. Like it just felt so unnatural. And again, that goes against my whole, like, this is not natural. So it brought everything up. And the whole drive home, I just cried. And I said to Paul, like, how is this going to work? Like, I'm in shock. I was still shaking. Anyway, we went and bought the first baby item. That was really nice.
What did you buy?
We bought like a little swaddle. It was just, I don't even know if
What
that's
colour?
a thing. It was actually had little lions on it.
Oh,
And Paul
cute.
thought
So,
it looked
like-
like Simba, which is our dog. So Paul was like, oh, look, it's this. Paul actually chose it, which I loved.
Oh. What size did you get?
I don't know. Newborn, maybe? Is that a thing? Just the
It's
cute
like
one.
the 50s, the 000s.
Don't know. We got like
Just
cute
something.
swaddle, just something. And I was like, okay, it's done. And then the psycho starts. Like that's when every day you're like, can I test yet? Can I test yet? Can I test yet? Am I? Because you're going, I'm pregnant. I must be pregnant. I'm pregnant until proven otherwise. And you're going, I think I remember saying, I think you told me once you felt implantation pain.
Oh, yeah, I felt it.
Yeah. And I remember you saying that to me. So I was like hyper vigilant to every little tweak, every little thing. I was like, not going to go to the gym and push myself. I was like, no, I'm resting. And then I felt a few little twinges. And I remember your voice in my head. And I'm like, oh, implantation pain. It's implantation pain. This is how Memphis came. And I was like, it's worked. And then I had to keep myself really busy for that 5 days.
Because is it only 5 days that you have to wait? Like
5 days was like early and I knew, but I couldn't wait. I just couldn't wait. 5 days is like the soonest that you could possibly show up positive. And I remember I finished my client calls in the morning and it was day 5 and I just couldn't hack it and I couldn't not pee on a stick basically. So I'm like, I've got it actually on video and it's so shit to watch because you can see like I'm so nervous. I'm literally pacing. I'm shaking. I'm like, this is it. This is the moment. Like it was already hatching. It's a grade A embryo. Interestingly enough, I was like, this is a boy. I had this strong sense that this is a boy the second they put the transfer, like did the transfer. Anyway, I saw negative and like, yeah, it was bad. I just crumbled and I went for a walk and I couldn't call mum. I couldn't call dad because I was like, well, it could still be positive and I want it to be a surprise. And I think deep down I just knew like, but then your brain starts doing tricks. You're like, well, maybe there's just not enough HCG yet. Or maybe you need to do a morning test and it'll be pregnant tomorrow. I went back home. I took another test. I took tests all afternoon. It was just negative, like not even the faintest line. And I just sobbed and yeah, I remember reaching out to 2 of my best mates, and I was just like, I already don't think I can do this again. Like, I was so scared of another transfer because of how traumatizing and painful it
Yeah.
was.
Is that why they think maybe?
It could have been.
Yeah.
So that was another piece. I was like, wait, is this why I haven't fallen pregnant? If my cervix is closed,
Then, yeah.
well, like, what is could that be it? And one doctor said yes, another doctor said no.
Trying to get all the answers again.
Again, I'm like, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the answer. Like, the whole thing. And then I tested again. My best friend came and stayed with me one night, had a sleepover so that I could do a test with her on day 10, which would be the final result.
Mm-hmm.
So she woke up, got up, came into my bathroom. We did the test together and it was negative. And we just went down to the beach together, and I just cried and I cried, and I rang Mum, and I was like, I was bawling by the time Mum answered the phone, and she's like, what's happened? What's happened? Her heart just stuck. I was like, Mum, it didn't work. And she's like, what didn't work? And I was like, I've already done it. Like, I've already done it, Mum. It didn't work. And I could feel her heart like shatter. And she's been doing this for 2 years with me, every month.
Yeah, it's like you're on the roller coaster together.
Every month. She's like, oh, maybe, sweetie, but she doesn't want me to get excited and the whole thing. So I've rung Mum and Dad, crying to them. Dad's researching. Oh, it could still be too early. You don't know. Like, he's being positive.
Just wanting to fix help his daughter.
He's going, I've read that you need to wait till 12 days. It could still work. And I'm like, oh, maybe. So then I'm sort of holding on to a bit of hope. Did the blood test. It was Mother's Day.
Oh, fuck. So all the posts online.
Yeah, it was Mother's Day when I thought that I would have been pregnant. And then the clinic rang me and said, we're so sorry, it didn't work. And I was just like, oh, like.
And do they give you context or anything? Or is it that's just all they say?
They just say no.
And then
they come back in on Monday. Let's go through the process again.
And then you just go through.
Let's start the injections again. Let's do the blood tests again. Every 2 days, I'm driving up to Leaderville. It's 45 minutes from my house. I'm like, yeah. And then between the first and the second transfer, they reviewed all my bloods, the hormones, all of that. And again, this was my second rock bottom. They changed my medication. So I've gone into the pharmacy to get ready for the next round.
Mm-hmm.
I've said to Paul, I don't think I've got many left in me. Like, I think I'm done. And this was after one. Said to Paul, I think I'm done. I'll do one, maybe 2 more. But if it's that painful and that traumatizing again, like, I just maybe I'm just not going to. And I started entertaining that. And then I was like, we'll do this one. We'll see if I have the same experience.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone to the pharmacy to get everything ready. The pharmacist actually pulled me aside and went, hey, Brianna, have they warned you? And I was like, what? He goes, you are on like hero dose of everything. 3 injections a day, 3 suppositories a day. He's like, this is a very max dose. And I've walked out of the pharmacy $2,000 later with literally 2 Coles bags of medication. I got to my car and I just sobbed. And I just cried and cried and cried. I drove to my best friend's house and I cried and I cried. And I was like, I don't think I can do this. I just don't know if I've got it in me. And Paul and I said, we'll do one and then we might take a break, go travel. I don't know, just not do it anymore. And I think it was something internally that changed. Like, in the first transfer, I was Googling everything and tightening everything that I did and controlling everything. And that heartbreak of like, it didn't work. By the time I got to the second one, I actually felt like the energy was like, I give up. I just give up. And that to me was almost an energy of surrender. I was like, it felt like I don't care. Like, whatever, I'm done. I've done everything I can. I'm literally putting everything I can into myself every day. The injections, there's a whole like host of things that come with the injections, emotionally, mentally, physically. You start changing. You're in pain. Like, there's a whole thing. And I was like, I'm going to throw everything at it, but I'm fucking done. So yeah, we went in for the second transfer. The doctor had given me Valium. because she said, I can't promise if this is going to happen again.
Yeah.
But I can make it more comfortable for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
I'll
like,
take it.
I'm taking the Valium. I went and did hypnotherapy, kinesiology. Like I just did everything I could to relax because I still believe being in that stress response for the first one is not the energy of conception. So I did that. I took my Valium. I went in. I walked in chilled. I was like, how you going, Brown? I'm like, I'm good. I had my playlist. One of the things I will say to anyone that does an embryo transfer or is in the IVF thing, I messaged everyone who knew what I was about to do that day, all of my besties. I said, I want you to just contribute one song that will add to the energy of the room.
Oh, how beautiful.
It was this transfer list makes me cry every time I listen to it because every friend put in a song and I went in with my headphones and I said, I'm not being rude, but I'm like not in this room right now. I'm not here. And so I put my I was pretty high actually. I was like, this is good. I'm going to have a great day. And I was listening to the music and the music that came on was just beautiful. The song that came on just as they did the transfer was Feels Like Home.
Oh my God.
Feels like home to me.
I love that song.
Feels
I was
like
playing
I'm
that
all
on the
the
way here.
Really?
Yes.
That's wild.
That is so wild.
So that song came on just as Paul said, it's a core memory because my doctor put her hand on and I'll never forget these tiny little micro moments. It was my doctor actually doing the transfer, which just felt so nice. I love her.
Felt like home.
Yeah, she felt homey.
Yeah.
And she'd been my doctor for this whole journey. She was incredible and I was so happy that it was her. So I've walked in, she's there, I've put my music on, she's rubbed my leg as this is about to happen. And apparently, as Paul tells it, I was a bit spaced out. But she said, you're just going to see a little shooting star and 1, 2, 3, there it is. And Paul saw this shooting star go up into my uterus, I suppose. And he said that was just a core memory. And then they give you a printout of your little embryo sitting there in your uterus and you go home. And it was so different. I was so relaxed. I was in the energy of whatever, if it doesn't work, I'm taking a break. I've done everything I can. And Paul was like, I'm putting you in a car and we're going camping, ideally where there's no reception and you can't be crazy on ChatGPT.
And you can't buy pregnancy tests.
Can't buy pregnancy tests and we're just going to go do us. We're going camping. We're going to go do the things that we love, sit by the fire most nights. I had a wine most nights. I just was like, whatever, I'm done. And when it came to 7 days past transfer, we were camping in this gorgeous little place actually, which has now become our favorite place. We're camping and we wake up and it's 7 days post-transfer and he's like, it's time to test. And I was like, I can't do it. I'm not doing it. And he's like, babe, you can do it. It's okay. And then he starts pacing. And I was like, oh no.
Been here before.
He was pacing and I was like, I could see Paul was so nervous. And I didn't realize how much he'd been holding until this day.
Yeah.
But he said, we woke up, he grabs a pregnancy test and he's like, go find a bush. Because we're camping, there's nothing around. It was off grid. It's like, go find a bush. And so I knew I had to do the test because Mum and Dad were actually coming up the next day to stay with us and I wanted to tell them either way.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gone, go pee on a bush. I'm going to light the fire. He's getting the fire ready. I'm going to find a bush to pee on. And then I've walked back, put it down on the little table in between us, and he's put the timer on his phone. And we're just sitting there looking at the fire. And I was like, I can't turn it over. And then the timer went off. And yeah, I turned it over and it instantly just said, it was a digital one and it said pregnant. And that moment.
Oh, he's just dropped something in the background.
That moment that was a mic drop moment.
I covered in goosebumps.
Yeah.
And it said pregnant.
And I'd never, ever, ever done a digital one, but I've always dreamt of seeing the word, but I just happened to grab one and it was a digital one. So I've flipped it over and this moment will forever be tattooed in my brain because I've flipped it. And I just remember thinking the air was taken out of me. I actually just went, and Paul within that moment it was 2 years of holding everything. he just sobbed, and I was like in his arms with, I don't know how it happened, but I was on him on his deck chair. He's crying into his hands. And he said there was a moment where he was like, is this bitch doing a prank?
Yeah.
But he also knew I would. But
Yeah.
and then we were just holding each other, and I was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. Like, I'm actually pregnant. And Simba's jumping up because there's all the commotion, and Paul was crying, and then I was crying, and we still had that playlist on playing our song. And and that was.
This is your pregnancy announcement.
This is my pregnancy announcement. And that was 11 weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, every time you say it, I get goosebumps. And obviously we just dropped stuff here in the studio because of the excitement levels are so high.
So crazy.
So obviously everything's going well now.
Everything's going well. I'm 11 weeks today. By the time this episode comes out, I'll be like, I don't know, 15, 16 weeks. And
how does it feel to say it out loud now? Like, because obviously you've told friends and family, and then now you've decided that, you know, this is the way that you want to share it to your biggest cheerleaders, you know, your people who have been there through every step of the way. Like, you are pregnant.
It's weird. It still doesn't even feel like, especially I'd say the first trimester, it's the weirdest thing. Like, I kept taking pregnancy tests to confirm because I was like, am I? And I haven't actually been that sick. Like, I've been one of the lucky ones.
Yeah.
And I always said, I'm going to be the lucky one because I've had enough. I'm going to have a great pregnancy. But I haven't really felt sick. I've been, you know, just checking, like, am I? And then we went for the first heartbeat scan, and like instantly we just saw this little heartbeat, and it was so cool to be like, it's actually happened.
Like, it's like a little person,
a little thing in there.
A little shooting star.
Yeah, that was the shooting star. And it's so funny because I tried to tell Mum that this is actually a bitch move. I shouldn't have done this. I was trying to steer Mum off course because I really wanted to surprise her. I told her, Mum, it didn't work.
Oh, what, when you were at the camping weekend?
She had already asked. She's like, so she couldn't wait. And I said, no, Mum, no good, but I'm okay. I'll see you tomorrow. And she didn't believe me. She was like, no, I know that it has. And she's very tapped in, my mum. She was like, I never believed you for a second because I knew, because this little girl kept coming to me every night at 2 a.m.
Oh, my God, stop it.
Every night at 2 a.m. Mum was saying, I've had this little girl come, and she's like, you're pregnant and I think it's a girl.
Oh, my God.
And I was like.
Okay, so money's on the table for a girl.
Money's on the table. I'm feeling girl,
you're feeling
which
girl.
Is weird. Paul's feeling girl. Mum's feeling girl. Everyone, even my besties who always said you're going to be a boy, Mum.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, this is, for some reason they've flipped. Energy maybe. So yeah, the last few weeks, I think it's only probably been the last 3 weeks where I've fully let myself get excited. Like, okay, we've made it to 10 weeks. We've made it to 11 weeks. We've seen the heartbeat. They've tested all these things and everything's tracking well. And now we get to like enjoy telling people and all that.
It's, I guess my thing that I, you know, kind of want to talk about was when you and Paul found out on your own, and he felt like that it was a prank. Is that what it feels like every day? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's why you keep taking because it's like for so long, no, this has not been possible. So like, is this a gotcha moment? Yeah.
It feels just surreal. There's no other way it just feels surreal. Like, am I really, can I check again?
Yeah.
And I think maybe a lot of women experience this with the first, because you don't really, especially if you don't have symptoms. You're like, am I? And then I did start having symptoms, but then they went away, and then I freaked out that they went away. I was like, oh no, my symptoms have disappeared. And it's just a real, and because I'm still on 2 injections every single day, you don't know whether some of the symptoms are from the injections or from the pregnancy. It's a whole thing. But yeah, and the moment that Paul, so when we were camping, we had like our 10 minutes there, sitting there just crying, not believing it. And then Paul went to the van and he came back with this like package, and he'd put together like a mum package for me. And I was like, Like
Oh.
there's been so many moments throughout the last 11 weeks where I got to see the male perspective that I didn't understand. Like I really saw how much Paul had held in that moment in the moment that he found out, I saw how much it had weighed on him, but he never showed it. And then since then, I've just had so many moments where I'm like, fuck, I've got the best. I chose the best baby daddy. Like when he came with this package and he had these like this shirt that was like for breastfeeding with zips and it had this like motherhood emblem on it. And he bought me a block of chocolate that said mum. And he had this like hamper that he was waiting to give me and he'd been collecting things. And
how incredibly
just
fucking awesome and special, and what the dad he's going to be.
That's what's getting me so excited. We've been having so many chats about like how we want to be and who we want to be and what we want for our child and just all this stuff. And I said to Paul, it was his birthday last week, and I wrote in the card, like, I already knew that I'd picked a good one, but I've fallen more in love with him in the last 7 weeks than I even thought I could. And I can't even imagine what happens once you see the person you love holding your baby. Like I actually can't imagine what that's like.
Oh my gosh. And like everyone's going to tell you like, you just wait, you just wait.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like sitting on the edge of my seat, like you just wait to see that. It's, and like, I think I said this to you, when you have the baby, it's going to be like, oh, you get it now. Like it's this, it's the wildest journey you'll ever go on in the most beautiful, crazy, chaotic way.
Yeah.
But like you just will have, and like you said, you'll see him and it will just like, you'll just experience all these emotions that you thought you'd had before, but like times 100.
That's what I can't wait for. And I have always said, like, I don't think I'm very maternal. And that's been, whether it's a story or a bit of a truth, like I've never been goo goo gaga over kids.
Yeah.
Babies. I'm not a baby person. I love kids, but I was a high school teacher. I like kids that give banter. I love like a certain age.
Yeah.
And so I've always said, like, I don't think I'm that maternal, but I can't wait to see this. Paul goes to me, I bet you're going to be just like your mum, who's the most maternal mother on the planet. And I can't wait to see these sides of myself that maybe I didn't think exist.
Yeah. And I think you said to me before we started to, talk about how we were going to share this with everyone, you have particularly gone about giving everyone the news in really awesome, creative ways, which I think would be really cool to share on the podcast because we'll be able to like roll the tape and add some, some of these moments in. So you'd obviously been thinking about this for a long time of how you would tell people. And did that keep you in this positive kind of happy space?
Yeah. Surprises must just be my love language. Like, and I had one friend say to me, like, is this baby for you or is this baby for your like, because I was getting so excited about telling mum and dad, telling my brother, telling my besties. I thought at one stage that I was going to surprise Paul, but when it came down, I'm so glad we did that moment together.
Yes.
But yeah, mum and dad came the next morning because we live 5 hours away. The next morning they walked in my door and I was wearing a cap that said mum and Paul was wearing a cap that said dad.
Oh, stop.
And we had Simba in this like big bro bandana and they walked in and they didn't notice my cap. They didn't notice the cap, but they saw me smiling. And dad just took one look at me and he was like, I knew it. And he kissed my belly.
Oh.
And he's like, I've been waiting for so long to do this. And he kissed my belly and mum just started bawling and she's like, I knew it. I knew you were. So that was just the best. And I think mum, to be fair, they haven't fully let themselves get too excited until the last few weeks.
Yeah.
But I mean, I shared a bump photo yesterday and they were like, oh my God, it's real. Like you've got a bump.
Yeah.
I said to you just before, like, is this normal? This is pretty early to be showing a bump. But yeah, there's been so many moments. I had 2 of my best mates. I really wanted to see them in person, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to. One of them, Steph, our mate, she was flying somewhere. I think she was flying to Bali. I'm like, oh, I need to tell you. Stop going everywhere. Yeah. So Paul ran up. Paul drove up at 5 a.m, did this letter drop to my 2 best mates.
Like
and
actually hand delivered it.
literally hand delivered into their mailbox, this little card. And on the front, it said, only the best of friends. And then as they like opened it, it said, get to be aunties. And I'd written this little like thing, and they recorded themselves opening it. So Steph and like two of my best mates, Steph and Milka, I've got these videos, which I'll share later, of them going, only the best of friends. And then they open it and you just see this like, they both just started bawling, and that made me bawl. And like, I think I was getting to feel my emotions through seeing other people.
Yeah.
Like when you see the emotion in your friends and your family, it helped me to access it because it still felt so unbelievable.
Because you don't want to get your hopes up, I guess, and celebrate too much because it's like, is that what you go through?
Yeah, I would say.
So it's like, here, you celebrate for me.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. And I think on some level, I've always found it kind of difficult to access my emotions because I am so, I guess, logical and like, yeah, it's great. It is what it is. Like, it's just my being, I suppose. And so to access my emotions was, I had to like drop in. Like, I'd have to go listen to the playlists and sit in silence. And like, it's not something, I don't necessarily get emotional easily. So watching it in my friends was like just so helpful to bring it out in me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've had that experience telling client, like it's just been magical seeing how much people have held the last 2 years with you and you don't even realize, like
Energetically as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the hope, I think that's, I think, the biggest thing around someone on a fertility journey, isn't it? Like you don't realize how much hope there is for you from everyone.
Everyone. And mothers in particular, I think I said to you before we hit record, like I feel like every mother I've told has this knowing that it's like they're in on a secret that I don't really get.
Yeah.
Because they've got this excitement and this joy that I'm like, God, what do you know that I don't know? Like it must be good. Because mums, people who already know the love of a child, they seem to have this response that to me is like, you've taken something I haven't. I want that. Like, give me that high.
Yeah.
So it's been really cool. It's been very cool, very connecting for like our family and for me and Paul. Paul and I are finally getting excited together. We're starting to plan like the birth, and we're going to, find our doula and choose out like all of that. Now it's like we're researching, we're getting excited. We've started clearing the nursery. It's actually happening now.
Oh, mate, I am so unbelievably happy for you and excited and scared, like all of the things. Like, do you know what I mean? But that's life, isn't it? Like you're going to get the full, ray of being a parent. And it is, I think the best way to describe it is it's chaotic and magical all in one.
Yeah.
And you get to now go on this journey.
Oh, there's been one day where we both got to bed and we had both of us at the same day. We're like, what have we done? But we actually both said, I said to Paul, I'm freaking out a bit. Are you? And he goes, I'm so glad you said that. I'm peaking. He was like, I don't know. Have we done the right thing? And we're like, well, we've rolled the dice.
Yeah.
'Cause this is how it felt to us. I hope we like parenthood.
Yeah.
We'll roll the dice and I hope we like it. But now it's like, well.
You got all the tools, mate.
Yeah.
You got all the tools. You run the mind school. There is going to be days where you fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And everyone, and there's going to be days where it's like, this is the best time of my life. And so, it's a wild experience, but I'm so grateful that you've shared it. And I'm so eternally honored that I get to be here with you to share the news.
Thank you.
And is there anything else that you want to share in part 2? Is there any thank yous? Like, are we going to do a thank you tour? Like what, is there, because I think a lot of people have been with you on this. Like we feel like your family, you have shared, although you haven't shared all the time and all the details, I think this is a big moment for everyone. So is there anyone you want to thank or anything else you want to add?
I do want to thank everyone. And I didn't realize how much strangers even were holding this with me and how much people kept me in their thoughts. And I really had no idea. and I've been so overwhelmed by kindness, especially when, people would send things to my door without their name, just to be like, I don't know.
Oh.
I've received things from people I don't even know who they are.
Oh.
And it's like, I just want you to know that I'm still thinking of you, and I will never, ever forget that and who's shown up. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I've got this platform. I'm so grateful for the community. I'm so grateful for listeners. I'm so grateful for my clients. I'm so grateful for friends. I'm so grateful for people like you. You've been huge. You've been part of this for the last few years, even when we were working together professionally. It's been there this whole time. And I'm so grateful for the humans that are around me.
Mate, like I said, I just know that you have given so much to everyone else by sharing your story. And, when we first started recording the first episode, it was, so people don't feel alone. And so what you're able to do today by sharing your journey, the highs and the lows, is so incredibly special.
Thanks, Hides. Thank you so much for doing this. I don't think it would have been the same story if I tried to do it myself.
Oh, no, mate, I don't think you needed me. You're so fantastic. You're so good at what you do. But I guess to wrap it up, you're thinking girl.
Yeah.
Well, obviously I'm going to go a boy just to be different and for like a new little buddy for Memphis. Yeah. So when is the baby going to be due?
Oh, so fun fact. For 2 years, I've been saying this fucking stubborn little baby. I've called it the stubborn little baby. It's due on my birthday.
Oh, when's that?
Feb 22nd.
Oh.
So I'm literally getting a little mini me. It's why I think it's a girl. It's probably a stubborn little headstrong thing. But yeah, I'm due February. I'm due on my birthday. I guess we'll see. I have been told I'm high risk already. They're asking that and that's I'll probably do an episode on this. Like I'm already feeling that sense of identity loss because it's like you can't exercise. They've told, and this is a huge part of, they want me to slow down on exercise. They want potential bed rest towards the end. They've got to check and see if I need to be stitched up to hold it in. Like there's all of this extra stuff about being high risk that I have to now navigate, which also brings up a little bit of anger because I didn't want that surgery. So there's still things that I'm like navigating, which I'll do another episode on later. But
we need pregnancy diaries. Yeah. There needs to be like a separate segment for where it's just like little pregnancy updates. And for those who want to listen to it and choose to.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think there needs to be 2 episodes a week, one for the mind school and then one for like the mind school pregnancy journey.
So true. Because fuck, it's a fucking
fucking minefield, man.
Already. I'm like, wow, I get it. There's a lot that your identity and who you want to be and what's your legacy. Yeah. There's so much and I already love the depth that it's taking me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as they will all say every single bit, you just wait. You just wait. By the end of it, you'll be like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Just wait till they're 2, wait till they're 13.
Yeah, just everything. Just wait, wait. But, enjoy the journey as much as you can.
Yeah.
And I know that it will be really hard to switch off and not try and take control. I guess one final question. How many pregnancy tests do you reckon you took?
Oh, I reckon I've taken at least 20 in the last couple months.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I've got them all lined up in my bathroom at home.
What, you kept them all?
I've kept them. I've kept them to show like negative. And then when I got positive, I think I've done probably about 10 positives just to confirm and just to see it again, like to have my moment. It didn't get old. There was like 2 weeks there where I kept doing it just so I could have my little moment of like, it still is. And for 2 years, every month.
Yes, it's all
negative. So I've lapped up the positives.
Mate, we need a pregnancy diary.
Yeah,
like, that's what we need.
I will.
Well, I love you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yay.